We have in this sale a more than usual number of really fine photographs, and they span quite a number of years. We have some very early photographs from the Civil War period. Lot 70 is a 6 by 8 inch photograph of the slaves of Thomas Drayton from Hilton Head. It's pretty striking. You have a number of the women seated, the men are standing, and next to them is a Union soldier with his greatcoat on. And this was taken probably about 1861 or 2. There are others that we have two carte de visite, small photographs that are very rare. One of Wilson Chin, who's a branded slave from Louisiana, and he's depicted with a number of torture instruments, a collar, which was placed on people who were perpetual runaways to inhibit their running through forest and woods. The prongs on it would catch on the low-hanging branches and so forth. Lot 75, the scourged back, shows the back of Private Gordon. It's a carte de visite. Private Gordon was in the Union Army and captured by Confederate forces and was repeatedly whipped on Christmas Day of 1863. This is a horrible image of the Civil War and the mistreatment of blacks when they were captured. There are a number of other photographs which show life during the Civil War period and just after the Civil War period. There are a couple of very nice tintypes. There are some carte de visite size photos of men in different professions. There's a man hauling wood, another one with a water wagon. And by contrast, we have some wonderful modern photography by Gordon Parks. There are two beautiful photographs of the Fontenelle family, which was a photo essay that Parks did for Life magazine. And there is a copy, relative to photography, a copy of the very famous book by Doris Ullman called Roll, Jordan, Roll, which was published in 1933. This is one of the very rare limited edition copies, one of 350 numbered copies, signed by Ullman and Julia Peterkin, who wrote the text for the book. It has an added special photograph that was included with the limited edition. This particular photo, called Three Men Gathering Cotton, quite a beautiful piece. We have too this year a small but substantial section on Frederick Douglass. Probably the star, without question the star of this grouping of Frederick Douglass material, is a 4-page letter signed by Douglass. That's Lot 171. And the letter is significant beyond the fact that it's Douglass, beyond the fact that it's very early, 1846. This letter is addressed to Anna Richardson, one of the two ladies that bought his freedom. Douglass opens this letter by alluding to the negotiations between the Richardsons and his owner, Hugh Auld, who stubbornly refused to free Douglass. He could only be bought. After discreet negotiations, the Richardsons were able to secure Douglass's freedom by purchasing him for the sum of 150 pounds, or $750, on December 12, 1846. Lots 172 through 74 are examples of 3 newspapers written and published by Frederick Douglass. The first one, the North Star, 1848. The second, Frederick Douglass's Newspaper, 1851. And finally, Douglass's Monthly, 1861. They are all exceedingly rare. We have a wonderful section of material relative to Martin Luther King, Jr. Within that section, we have a very early letter, Lot 214, a typed letter signed by King as pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church and then president of the Montgomery Improvement Association. This was written to his agent, Mary Rodell, and it regards the contract for his first book, Stride Toward Freedom. This is a very early letter, the 13th of November, 1957. The most important thing, to my mind, in this grouping of King material is the Ten Commandments on Vietnam. On April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. In the early months of 1968, King had become more focused on the war in Vietnam, the poverty at home, and the racist implications and connections of both. He was scheduled to deliver the keynote address of the marchers at the Peace Parade in New York City on April 27th. Instead, Coretta Scott King delivered the address before the nearly 25,000 marchers. When King was shot, he had a number of things in his pockets, amongst which were some notes for the Ten Commandments on Vietnam. And so Coretta typed it up from the notes in his pocket. This copy that we have is the original, her typed original, with her notes in her handwriting. The next Martin Luther King item I'd like to talk about is an archive of material from the files of Joan Davis and Mary Rodell, literary agents. This includes 27 typed letters from Martin Luther King Jr. written by his personal secretary, Maud Ballou, of which 10 are signed by Ballou as Martin Luther King Jr. or Martin. There are as well 37 photographs of various sizes of Martin Luther King Jr., Coretta, the children. Within this group, 26 are original. That is to say, these are not press photos formally posed. These are informal. There are as well 2 short reel-to-reel tape recordings marked Conversation MLK, Levison, Davis, CBC, recorded 11/18/67. We have not listened to these. This is going to be a discovery for whoever acquires this lot. There are as well 60 file copies of King's speeches and 2 typed itineraries of King's speaking engagements. The last lot in the run of Martin Luther King Jr. material is a Lincoln rocking chair, 36 inches tall. It's cane back and seat. This chair was used by him when he would visit with his editor, Hermina Isaacs Popper. She lived up in Westchester, and he would come to visit and sit for hours upon end of an afternoon going through his writing, and they would discuss the edits together. And he requested a rocking chair. He, like JFK, had a bad back, and so he would sit in this chair, and we're fortunate enough to have it here. Lot 253 begins a run of Malcolm X material. These are framed manuscript pages from the Playboy interview by Alex Haley and the autobiography of Malcolm X. They bear variously, the different lots bear either signature by and or corrections by Malcolm X or Alex Haley. Lot 366 is one of several lots relative to Booker T. Washington. It's very interesting. This is an original 78 RPM record made circa 1910, and it's a speech. It's the famous Atlanta Exposition address. That's the one which Booker T. Washington is famous for saying, "Cast down your bucket where you are."